Hi there and welcome to Seismic Radio, and this is a short presentation on how to listen to Seismic Radio. First of all, let's go to the website, and you can see this here. That's a website of Seismic Radio on a little laptop here, and when you go to the home page, you can see there's a little tune-in button here. You can either click on Listen Now or if you scroll right to the bottom of the page. Let me just do this. You've got a couple of options here. So it's Winamp, Real Audio Player, Media Player, or QuickTime Player. Or down here another icon for tune-in. So you can either access the stream directly via any of those players here, or you can go via TuneIn. Now TuneIn is a little bit of a fancy software. It'll actually make sure that your whatever you're listening to, whether it's an Apple Macintosh or it's a Linux machine or it's just some box standard Windows computer, Microsoft computer, that it'll work on any platform. Even if you use your Android telephone or your iPhone, it'll work on there as well. So TuneIn will automatically install an app, and the app will allow you to listen to from any device, almost any device, to the audio stream. Okay, so to be on the safe side, it takes a little bit of time and it throws a lot of advertising at you as well. That's the downside. But to be on the safe side, try the TuneIn app, and let's try this. And you will see it without any problems. It'll install straight away. Yeah.
You can reach me. Let's get after it. All right. This is basically a position I held for a number of years. Richard Dawkins wrote this, and I think he said this. And he's one of the more foremost.
So this is the tune-in stream. There straight away without a problem. There's a lot of talk radio on the radio station, and what we are trying to do is get you the stuff, get you the talks which you are unlikely to hear on standard Christian radio stations. We realize there are a lot of Christian radio stations out there, so if you want to listen to music, there's another website we have set up here at Seismic Radio, which will give you a very good selection of Christian music from Christian radio stations throughout the world. Let me just go there, and it's angeloffaith.co.uk, yeah. And whoops, I did one dot too many in there. Here we go, angeloffaith.co.uk. You can go to Christian Media, and you've got like a whole page of radio stations. I think it's about 30 odd radio stations which are on there. Pretty much any taste, any liking which is there. And it's a service of Seismic Radio. If you go to Seismic Radio, quickly, am I still on? Yeah. Go to the resources section, and other than having interesting audio files there as well, you see a whole lot of links on the side of the column here, and down there you see a link to angeloffaith.com. So Seismic Radio, go to the resources page, and if you don't like our radio programming but you would like to listen to some Christian radio, you can go there, and there are a lot of radio stations in English you can access. Okay, we've opened up a Russian service. Let me just go to the home page, and so if you speak Russian or you know somebody who speaks Russian, so we've got the Russian flag here, there's a Ukrainian flag. Half of them speak Russian too, and most Ukrainians do understand Russian, even if they speak Ukrainian as a main language. Let's click on the Ukraine. It takes us to our Russian language page. And again, there are a lot of, I want to keep it in the original, it tries to translate it automatically, and it's done it already. Okay, show original, go back. Okay, and here on the right hand side, there are a lot of radio stations, Christian radio stations, who broadcast in Russian, in the Russian language. So they are from all over the former Soviet Union, and also some of them from America. So there's some Russian expatriates in America who have set up Christian radio stations in America, and it's good as well. I was reading up recently, there are some radio stations in Russia who are worried that they'll be switched off due to the new information policy by the Russian authority, with the war situation. which is apparently not a war. They are cutting down on the information outlets which are there, and obviously evangelical Christian radio outlets are seen as a big problem. Okay, you can click on here, click on the player here, it'll come up with another player, click on here again. Okay, and that's Russian, that's Seismic Radio, or in Russian it's called Radio Seismic, as you can see here, in Russian as well, okay. Okay, okay, we're gonna go back to what we want to do originally. I just want to show you what to do and how to access Seismic Radio. We have seen so far from a computer how to access it. Let me just zoom out again so you can see all the bits and bobs I have here for you to have a look at. Okay, so you can see a normal radio, yeah, you can see this here, and you can see a smartphone, and we're going to look at what can you do and how can you access Seismic Radio from your smartphone. Okay, first of all, and your radio as well, yeah. So is this possible? You've got an old analog FM radio sitting around somewhere in the house, probably not finding much use these days because of the change of our media habits. But can you do something with it? Can you go in the garage and listen to Seismic Radio, any of the other Christian radio stations which are out there? Maybe whatever local Christian radio station you have. If you are in America, it's pretty much every area which has got some. If you are in Europe, you may not be in a position to listen to Christian radio wherever you are based. And so the internet is your only outlet, but you would like to listen to Christian radio in your garage or in your workshop or anywhere in the house. Now the answer is, get one of these. Just an old radio, which I'm sure you have knocking about somewhere. And then you get a mini transmitter. And this is what they look like. Yeah. Okay, this is what they look like. I'm just going to turn the thing on. And you can adjust the frequency. Let me just show you. I'm just going to go one down, 87.6 megahertz. They've got a small battery in there. And they will work for a couple of meters without a problem. They will cover all of your house. You can take a charging lead as well. Let me just show you. So this is a normal USB, micro USB charging lead. So you've got this ending there, and let me show you the other one. That's what it looks like. And you can connect it to your USB port, yeah. And then that one just plugs into your laptop. I'm not sure whether you can see it all. Let me just try and get the laptop in. So we've got the let's do it like this. You've got the laptop there. So we plug this in here in the audio port of the laptop, and then this USB lead, yeah, we just plug it into the USB port, and with that our little transmitter is getting charged all the time. There seems to be a side effect as well, and you can see this cable. Let me just, I think the light is going a little bit strange, so you can see a bit more now. So you can see the cable here, and I think there's a slight design flaw in this design. I've noticed that with some of these transmitters, when you put the charging cable in, the range goes up a little bit. Bearing in mind a full-length antenna for this device would be about 2 meters in length, with a feed point somewhere in the middle. And obviously there's just a compromise. I put a little coil or something in there, and they lose a lot of performance. Once you put these in, some of them, it seems to be some freak effect, the range increases quite dramatically, up to a couple of 100 meters, which is not in the design of the way they're supposed to be working, but it is just a side effect, and it's something to bear in mind if you deal with this. So if you are in America, there's the FCC regulation, and you have to be careful that you stay within there. They specify how much whatever is working as an antenna, how much the device is supposed to radiate, and normally the cutoff point for a box standard radio, not a car radio, box standard radio, is about 100 meters, about 60 meters to 100 meters, so that's about 200 feet. If you can still hear it with a box standard radio after 200 feet, you're probably over the limit, and you might get in trouble with the FCC. In Europe, the legal limit for these devices are in the range of nanowatts, and they are meant to cover a distance of about 5 meters. So that's what these devices are meant to do. Some of them which are imported, they are slightly above. Some of them are massively above. So you have to look for the CE symbol on the device you buy in order to stay within the law. If it's not on there, there's a good chance that it might, instead of having nanowatts, have a few milliwatts or something, and spit out a little bit too much power. Nevertheless, even the 5-meter devices will normally be enough to be heard on the radio anywhere in the house, depending how big your house is, obviously. So if you live in a box standard normal house, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay, let's try it out, how this works. So we're gonna click on tune in. Yeah. So it's now broadcasting. You don't hear anything because it's now going via the transmitter. I'm gonna turn on the radio. Right.
Having another argument, and before long he's.
Oops. So this is a box standard radio. You can hear this. And.
Takes off. How do you know who? Entire time I've lived on this block. I've lived on this block for 30. These kids grew up on this block. He grew up on the block also. I mean, we all grew up together. I mean,
okay, so that's Seismic Radio. It's just obviously don't want you to listen to it now, but just demonstrate how this works. So now I can take this radio, I can walk throughout the house, and you can listen to it throughout the house, but just keeping it running from a computer anywhere in the house. So effectively, what you are doing is, if you get one of these tiny devices, you stick them into your laptop or into any old computer you may have. You can obviously it's not just Seismic Radio. You can tune to any radio station of your liking. And you can have your own private repeater station by using this setup. As I said, the legality in America, yes, providing, check it out. This the best way to do it is just to either get a device which is approved by the FCC. Some of them have got an FCC stamp. They should have an FCC number as well. If they haven't got one, don't believe them. If in doubt, test it out. Take a radio, and if the range is more than about 60 yards, there may be a problem. You have to reduce the radiation slightly, or just make sure. The law in America is that you need to make sure that you tune it to a frequency where there isn't another radio station. So that's a law there. So make sure that the frequency which you are choosing is free. So if you choose one which where there's something on there, there's a problem, and you're not allowed to use them. Ideally, again, check for an FCC number on them. The devices you can legally use, there's one company called Whole House Transmitter, and they're a little bit expensive. They're about $160, I think, or $100 or so. You check it out on YouTube or on eBay. But these devices, and just watch, surprise, surprise, you can buy them from eBay, and this is how cheap they are from China. Okay, I'm just going to show you. So that's the device. You can see this. So no doubt it's the same thing I've got. And then look at the price. It says £2.50. So if you think in dollars, it's, how many dollars is it? It's about $3-4, round about there, US dollars. And that's from China. And here's the surprise as well. You think, oh dear, China costs a fortune. Free postage. Yeah, it's almost too good to be true when you buy them there. If you buy them locally in the UK, and I'm sure the same applies for the United States as well, if you buy them locally, there are about £3.50, £4. So people who buy them in bulk from China, they try to resell them with a tiny bit of profit, maybe £1 a piece or something, and that's how they get them. But the advantage is you get them the next day, so you don't have to, or next couple of days, so you don't have to worry too much about it. Also, when you look at the picture, you can see you can attach that thing to your phone, to your smartphone or to your iPhone. Now, just imagine if you're commuting on a train. Most iPhones have got a radio as well. People have got the earpieces, which will, or the headphones, which will serve as an antenna. You can stick this little device on top of your iPhone. You can tune into a radio station, to a frequency where there's no radio station, and then you can use it as a missionary tool. You can just have your own little private radio station which can be heard throughout, at least throughout the compartment on the train where you are in. If you're in a traffic jam, people in other cars will be able to hear it as well in the proximity of where you are. So just need to make people aware to tune their radio to a certain frequency where your little mini broadcast station is set to. They're quite potent, and I did some tests with these devices. If you stick a long lead in there, a long charging lead, you can cover easily the FCC limit of about 60 meters, just 5 meters or 10 meters or whatever. You can get about 60 yards easily, and instead of $100, you only pay a couple of dollars for this device. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's carry on with our little experiment. So, right, let's zoom out again so you can see the surface area here. So we've got this little transmitter, we've got the radio. Yeah, you can see this. I'm just going to turn it up again.
Smacked her around pretty good, but he didn't kill her, he says.
And I could now walk throughout the house.
How many of you right now feel really good about this guy?
And I could listen to Seismic Radio. Okay, right. Let's carry on. We have got our smartphone. Yeah. So I'm just going to turn on the smartphone, and you can see my little smartphone here. And again, I can use the same thing. I can use my
the person running away from
my little transmitter. Yeah. Just let me disconnect it. Stick it on the top of my smartphone, and I've got my mini radio station, which I could use on a train or anywhere else. Can you see this okay? You can see this okay. Right, okay, let's see what we can do with the smartphone. So first of all, how do I get into the app installed? You start off with going to the website, seismicradio.org. Let me just do this here. So I'm just going to type in Seismic Radio. It's already put in, obviously. Can you see it okay? You can. And so I'm on seismicradio.org. Just need to blow it up a little bit. Go to the home page. Okay, so we are on the home page at seismicradio.org. And just click on Tune In. And comes up. We're gonna put up another page. Tuning comes in, and it'll come up with TuneIn Radio. It'll prompt you to install TuneIn Radio, a little app. So we're just going to do this. It's already been installed, but it needs to be updated. It's the same as the installation, so I'm just going to update it. I'm not sure whether you can see it. You can see it, okay. So that will be the same issue as installing it. So the little app is installed or updated, as it is in my case. And takes a little bit of time. Okay, I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about the Seismic Radio website. So you can see it's just doing its same thing here. Takes some time. Let's go back to the computer here and right, zoom in. So at the moment we are here on TuneIn, and I'm gonna go back to Seismic Radio. I mentioned before we have got our Russian website as well. So bear in mind, so if you've got friends who do speak Russian, let them know about this facility as well. Just to remind you, all you do is you go to the website, you click on the Russian flag or the Ukrainian flag, bearing in mind that half the people in the Ukraine do speak Russian, and pretty much everybody in the Ukraine will understand Russian, either as a first language or second language. Again, you click on here, another page opens up, and you can hear it in Russian. Yeah, fairly straightforward. We do intend to expand our service a little bit further. So in the future, if you are interested, go back to the website. Let me just go back to the home page. Struggling here. And we intend to do it in German, in Arabic and Persian as well, and Farsi as well. So we want to sort of create Christian radio in all these languages, predominantly talk radio, so people can enjoy Christian radio experience there. Okay, and we're struggling here because TuneIn Radio wants an update and it's not happening. Normally it should just take a few moments. It says it's quite busy, it's waiting for the network to respond. Once it's done, it should be a fairly straightforward thing.
Enter to Bluetooth.
So whilst we are waiting, let me introduce you to another amazing device. I'm just going to zoom out again. And let's zoom down on our little surface here, so you can see everything better. Now this is an amazing device. This is a so-called Bluetooth speaker. If you go to the usual outlets, in America would typically be Walmart or any of those. Over here it's going to be Tesco or Morrison or little computer shops. They typically cost about, how much did I pay last time? I bought 2 of those. The first one I bought was just a present. I paid about, I think £20 or something. So it's quite expensive, but when you go on eBay, and again, it's the China connection, they were about £5. They're quite heavy as well, but they're quite potent as a speaker. So anyway, all you need to do is you get the speaker, you can connect it to your phone, for example. So if you use your Android phone to listen to some of the files we've got there, you need to pair it. So you go into Bluetooth mode, and the first connection is you have to do Bluetooth discovery and then pair it. Takes a little bit of time to do it. If you've never done it before, get your geeky friend to sort it out. They're all slightly different, so I'm going to spare you showing this, how to do this on my phone. Okay, let's see whether we can do something else. It's still waiting for the TuneIn app to install everything. We're going to go back to the website. So it's going to go to Seismic Radio, and here we go. And we've got a library as well with loads and loads of different talks. Yeah, just to show you how this goes. So for example, you can click on any of these talks. Let's have a look. We have got The Devil doesn't like it. That's by John Noble, a talk. So you just click on the loudspeaker. Another page opens up, yeah, and then you just click on here, and you can hear the talk on the phone. Let me just, obviously we've got the radio installed. I can quickly show you how this works. So the little radio transmitter is installed, so we can listen to it on the radio. And it's not coming through yet. And we need to turn up the volume a little bit.
Because it is possible that Satan could come and divide this work and spoil this work. And then would you be disappointed? Or would you say, I still believe that
so
Jesus
that's a recording from a tape.
Yeah. I still believe that God the Father is going to give to the Son what he promised him. And therefore,
okay, so that's via the radio.
And I say, where are you?
I'm just going to remove the little transmitter. And now you should hear it directly. Let's have a look.
That have come to the place where
okay, so you can see it's a little bit more quiet. Speaker is here.
And they have become
I can see.
And many of them are no longer in the race.
Okay, let's have a look and see whether we can get it onto Bluetooth. I'm going to go to Bluetooth. I turn Bluetooth on.
Bluetooth connected.
So that's a speaker.
To me and those men.
And now
do it to me and you.
The sound is coming out of the speaker.
Watchful. Let's not be afraid. Let's not be afraid, but let us be watchful.
Oops, I need to adjust the camera.
We think he's an idiot. You know, he's sort of
yeah, you can see this here. So that's the speaker now.
Kind of zombie.
That's what it looks like.
and you know,
you charge it up via the USB port. Let me see. You can maybe see this here. There's a small connection with the USB port. You can charge it up on there,
you're okay. And I think some of us
and you can then listen to it to online radio stations or to Seismic Radio, if you choose to do so. So, as I said, there are several ways of doing this. Also, bear in mind when you've got these things here, you can just put them in your car as well. And then you can listen to Seismic Radio while it's on the move, providing you've got a smartphone with internet capability to, whilst you're driving. If you are not having the internet whilst you're on the move, on our website we've got loads and loads of different talks which you can just download, and we've got a library at the moment. It's John Noble's library and Alan Mabry's library. There are two ministers in the area here in England, and John Noble's library has got about 210 talks. Alan Mabry's about, I think, 20 or 30 talks around about there. But we are building up our library all the time, so you can just download tracks, put them on a little memory card, and I can just show you what they look like. I just have one here. Where have we? Here we go. This is one of the memory cards. This is what goes inside the phone. A 1 gigabyte card is a couple of pounds, and you can put about, maybe, depends what resolution. Our talks, maybe about 100 talks on there at 1 gigabyte. And it's about a good 100 hours, sort of 80 to 100 hours of talks. If you get like a 10, 15, 20 32 gigabyte card, you can stick a lot more cards on it. So we just stick them in here. And these days, let's have a look. Looking at it through the camera, which is not very good. Okay, and then most laptops, they have got a facility where you can just put this into the laptop and upload them onto the card. Or, we've got some adapters which look like this, and some of them you can push in the little micro SD card and then just put them in a USB port. It recognizes it as a drive, and you can upload lots and lots of data. Okay, that concludes the session. Let me quickly check whether the TuneIn app has installed. If it hasn't, we have to stop the camera and I have to wait and turn it back on again, not to keep you waiting. Okay, let's try one more time. Just have a look. That's the... So I'm just coming back again. Just after I finished the talk on the previous video, it installed and everything was there. This is what it looks like when the TuneIn amp is installed on your phone. You just need to obviously click on here. And at the moment I've got still the Bluetooth speaker connected.
Luke comes in and says, hey, guess what? I talked to everybody. I got everybody's stuff in here now, and that's all in the right order.
So that's Seismic Radio now.
He quotes more than anyone else, word for word, in Luke's gospel. He quotes Mark, the disorderly account. And so Mark's account is going to be dated prior. And I don't think most scholars will give you the Mark's accounts first. Mm-hmm. But look how close we are now to the actual events.
There's something as well which is called car mode. Yeah. So if you have it in the car,
in the generation of people who were there to say time out. It never happened that way.
You can. I don't know how well you can see this. I'm going to try and hold it in a different way.
Paul can say in 1 Corinthians also there are 500 people who saw.
Okay, let me just tune this down a bit.
He can say that because this time.
So there's something going on with car mode as well, and outside as well. I don't know if they can hear the sirens. But you can have a voice search, follows, stations you follow and so on, or reasons. So I've got a couple of radio stations I listen to every now and then, including Seismic Radio. And I can just click on there and then the whole menu comes up. Let me just try this. So you can see this here. You get like a whole list. So I've got Seismic Radio right at the top. Country radio station in South Dakota. Weekly Signals, it's a Dakota radio station as well. What else have we got? Heaven's Country, UCB, Inspirational. UCB is United Christian Broadcasters, a good Christian radio station in the UK. So there's lots of interesting stuff you can go to, and you can listen to as well, and it'll remember it all. Once you sign in to TuneIn, you've got your own account there, and it'll spit it out on your iPhone as well. So it makes it very easy to just listen or to follow any radio stations you would like to listen to. Okay, last thing, I'm just going to try it and then I'm going to leave it. I think it's been a talk which goes about half an hour. I hope it was reasonably interesting for you. about, how to connect your computer or your iPhone to your normal box standard radio or to your car radio as well. And then you can listen to it on, to Christian radio on the move, even though you may live in a country where there isn't any Christian radio. Okay, let me just go to one of the reasons. UCB UK is a really good radio station. I shouldn't really say this, should I? Working for Seismic Radio, but here we go. I need to turn the volume up.
Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ,
Okay.
who has blessed us in the heavenly realms with every spiritual blessing in Christ. Words to live by on UCB. This is UCB UK.
Okay, so that is UCB radio as well, and that's via Bluetooth speaker. I'm not sure how it comes across on the camera. So when you listen to the music, the sound is actually quite impressive, which comes from these little units. And as I say, you can leave them somewhere. If you don't leave them plugged in to be charged, they last about an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending how loud the music is. And then the battery inside just goes down. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this point. I hope it's been helpful. If you've got any questions, feel free to do so. Our email address is info@seismicradio.com. I'm going to try and put it in the caption on the film. Our web address is www.seismicradio.org. And again, you can listen to us from the website. You can listen to us from TuneIn. If you go to TuneIn, just type in Seismic Radio and it should come up. And just to remind you, we have got broadcast in Russian language as well. So we've got a Russian language channel, and we intend to extend it to German, Arabic, and Farsi. That's the Persian language. That's the stuff they speak in Iran and in bits in Afghanistan, in those languages as well. So stay tuned, check us out, keep checking us out. And also, if you're a Christian, pray for us as well, to get the word of God out there, to get the wisdom, the guidance, and everything we need to keep this going. Last one as well, I mentioned this before, angeloffaith.co.uk is a website where you can find a lot of other radio stations as well, Christian radio stations. Just go to Christian Media, and there's like a whole set of Christian radio stations you can access and you can check out. So it's not just us, there's a lot of stuff out there. The main thing is we have to pull it all together and then try and get you away from the secular media and make you enjoy good stuff and good media as well. So God bless, and bye-bye from Michael here at Seismic Radio.